Hi,
I'm Amy.
I'm Laura.
And we are
Two Paper Girls. I'm off on holiday next week, which means we have to film this June wrap-up a little bit early. You'll still be seeing it at about the right time, but we're actually filming this on the 26th of June.
Yes.
So there's still 5 more days of reading left, so my wrap-up is slightly pitiful.
My June wasn't too bad. All that I've done basically this month is read, and it's been quite a good one. I've read quite big books, so I haven't read as many books as it would seem, but they were quite large, so let's just get straight into it. The first book I finished in June was I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I started this in May, and I only just finished it at the start of June. And I can't really remember, if I love the ending, but I remember loving this book so much. And it's just beautiful. Look at it. It's just yellow all the way around. And I do really, really like this book. I think I gave it 4 stars. It was just such a lovely YA, but it wasn't too, young YA. It had, some, adult material in, and I really liked that. It wasn't just, a love story that stopped at a little kiss on the cheek. It was quite interesting and detailed, and the way it's written as well, they really like painting, and it was just a beautiful book. I would recommend it to anyone.
The first book I read this month was Unravel Me by Tahira Mafi. I have done a full review of this. It went up a few days ago, so check that out if you want to know more details, but I really, really loved this book. It was a really good sequel to Shatter Me. It was a huge improvement. And it was quite chunky, but also a very quick read. But I didn't read too much this month because we were still at university and I was doing fun things with friends. It was my boyfriend's birthday, so I went over to Cambridge. And yeah, I just didn't really read as much as I thought I would. So this took me about 2 weeks, but I really, really loved it. I'd give it 4 stars, I think. Not quite 5 because the ending and the start was a little bit dodgy, but 4 stars. It was really, really good.
The next book that I read in June was Jonathan Livingston's Seagull, that Laura read last month, if you can remember, about a seagull who can transport himself, and he just becomes enlightened, and it's the weirdest thing that I've ever read. And I didn't like it because it just has random pictures of seagulls, and it was quite boring, the story. Just, I'm gonna go faster, I'm gonna fly faster, and then he falls, and this happens multiple times. And it was just so bizarre. I was just like, this is rubbish. I think I gave it 2 stars. I didn't really enjoy it that much.
The last book that I finished so far in June is The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. I really enjoyed this book. I started reading it while I was on a train, and I feel like the girl on the train a lot while I'm at uni because I use the trains to get about a lot. But yeah, I think the blurb of this book was slightly misleading. It says a woman on a train sees something that changes her life, and it wasn't really a big monumental thing, but this book was still amazing. It was full of mystery and loads of twists and turns. There was 3 narrators and they were all completely unreliable, and it was just really, really interesting. It ran out of steam a little bit about 2/3 in, but then the ending really picked it up. And yeah, I really loved this book. I gave it 4 stars.
The next book I read in June was Everybody Sees Ants by A.S. King. I've been wanting to read this for a good couple of years, because I remember when I first started watching BookTube, Raylene was like, oh, I love this book, I love this book. But because it's American, I never see it in England. I had to order it. And it took me a couple of years to get round to it. But I'm so glad I did. I think I gave this book 5 stars because it was just amazing. Lucky is such a lovely character. And this story is I don't know, it's really weird. It entwines itself with Vietnam War and just bullying. It's really strange. He wakes up in his bed and he's got little Vietnam War things with him.
Yeah.
When he has his dreams, he's like, how is he doing that? His dad doesn't know either, and I still don't understand, but it's just such a lovely book, and it's touching, and it nearly made me cry.
Aww.
Nearly, and it was just amazing. I would read this if I was you, just ready now.
The book I'm currently reading, which I expect to finish before June, I'm going to read it after me and Amy have finished filming this video, and all of tomorrow before I go on holiday. It's Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas. I am loving this book. I don't know why in every single TBI I've said, I'm going to read Crown of Midnight, and I never did. And I don't know why I didn't just pick it up straight away after throwing a glass, because it's so good. It just gives me fuzzy feelings, and it's so exciting, and I love all the characters so much, and it's just, the world is really growing and developing into such an amazing thing. And I can't wait to finish it. I expect that I'll give it 5 stars, but I'll properly talk about it in the July wrap-up. But yeah, I expect to finish that before June is over.
The next book I read in June is sort of a musical in a book. It's Tiny Cooper's story from David Levithan and John Green's combination book, Will Grayson, Will Grayson. And this is brilliant. This book I gave 3 stars, as I think Laura did. Did you?
Yeah, I gave it 3 as well.
It's good. it's just really funny.
Yeah.
It's got nothing like, it's just funny. It's just a funny quick read and it's enjoyable, but it's not really any more than that.
No.
But it's fun. It really made me laugh in some parts.
After I finish Crowded Midnight within the next few days, I think I'm going to squeeze in Ignite Me by Tara Maffey on like the last day of June, because for my holiday I have a 5-hour train journey, and this book is a lot shorter than Unravel Me, so I expect to read this on that 5-hour train journey and get it finished. I really liked Unravel Me, and I'm just excited to see how the trilogy concludes. So yeah, I expect to read this in June. This is sort of turning into a TBR for me, but if you on Goodreads you'll see what I actually managed to read in June.
The next book that I read in June was The Walking Dead Compendium 2. If you remember how much I loved Walking Dead Compendium 1, I read it in a week. I read this in about 2. It was amazing. I just love these so much and I can't wait for the third one. I gave it 5 stars and I did a big review on Goodreads because I read it, I finished it and I was like, must talk about it. And I just love it so much. Look, it's got zombie them.
Ooh.
Upside down. It's really creepy and I love it. It's just, I don't know what to say about this. I love it so much. It's really heavy, so I'm going to put it down. The last book I read in June was the first instalment of the Songs of Ice and Fire series by George R.R. Martin. Game of Thrones. I love it.
Wow, I can't believe you read all of that.
I love the TV show so much and I was like, right, I actually want to read the books. And I'm really glad I did because I was worried that they were going to be hard and difficult, but it's amazing. It's so easy to read. It's just the characters are brilliant and they're so like full of character. It's just fabulous. And you shouldn't let the size put you off because it does take ages. But it's just fun to read and I want to read other things now, so I'm glad I finished it. But you just got to keep going because it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
The multiple narrative makes it easy as well because you don't get bored of like the story because it keeps swapping all the time.
Yeah.
So you're never getting much of a rut with it and I just loved it so much. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars because I did have lulls sometimes. I didn't like some of the narratives because Caitlin's just really boring. But it's a really good book.
That's it for our June wrap up. Let us know down below what you enjoyed reading this June.
Keep an eye out for our July TBR because that will be up soon and we're really excited for this month because we literally have kind of nothing to do apart from read, and there's lots of 2 booktubeathons that we're taking part in coming up, so look out for those TBRs as well.
And we'll see you on the next video.
Bye.